Hi there, and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. This morning I created this layout using the Hip Kit January kit, which I have on my workspace right here, some of the leftovers. I had a really fun time making this layout. It has lots and lots of embellishments, including a really cool pocket of glitter. So if you're interested in seeing how this one came together, just keep on watching. So I am starting with this photo that I printed from my phone, and again I'm using the Hip Kit from January, and it has all of these really beautiful embellishments, and I thought right off the bat that I might be able to use one of these frames on the photo. It's just a photo that I printed. I took it this morning and I printed it up with my phone using my PictureMate charm, and I'm just having a look at what embellishments might go along with the theme of the story that I want to tell. So I'm thinking that this pink background paper will look really beautiful as a background, and I also thought that the feather paper would be really pretty. It's just a darker shade of pink than some of the pinks in the background. And then I thought that striped gray paper would make a really nice matte, perhaps. And I also really like these polka dots. So I picked a lot of paper this time, a lot more than I usually pick. And that dark blue and white paper that's on the very bottom right now, it looks kind of like a plaid. I'm thinking, but I'm going to not do this, but I'm thinking at this point of using it to mat my entire layout. So here I'm just going to trim off the manufacturer's strip. That paper is from Pink Paisley. And then I'm going to take this paper with the pluses all over it that I kind of tore to size, and that is a Hip Kit Club exclusive designed by Kim Watson. And I'm just running it through my sewing machine with white thread. I have white thread in the top and in the bottom, and I'm going to start by running 3 strips of white plain straight stitching, and then I'm going to add a strip of zigzag stitching that's fairly loose, meaning that the zigs and the zags are far apart from one another, making a nice loose pattern. And then I'm making a very, very tight zigzag, and I'm putting that in a couple of different places, and I'm focusing the tight zigzag because it takes longer and more thread to stitch that. I'm focusing it on the 2 ends of this strip because that's where it's going to show the most. So here is what that looks like. And now I am going to add a little bit of a watercolor effect to this plus paper with the stitching on it. So I'm just grabbing my brushes and water, which I still had out from way back on Monday. It's now Thursday that I'm making this. And I just grabbed a mist, and you can grab basically any kind of color product that you have. You can put a little bit of ink, and I'm just using some extra packaging that I just had laying on my desk from a product that I opened on Monday, and I'm just adding lots of water to it with my brush and making it very, very light, and it will lighten as it dries as well. You could use watercolor for this, or ink, or mist, or gelato, or basically anything that you have that has some pigment in it, and just water it down really, really well. And now I'm just spreading a little bit of that light pink color all over the whole entire piece. And this is an idea that I saw in a book that I'm reading called Creative Girl: Mixed Media Techniques for an Artful Life. It's by Danielle Donaldson. And what I love about this technique is that the pigment from the watercolor, or whatever pigment you use, in the book they use watercolor, it accumulates in all of the holes of the paper from where the stitching is, and it turns the thread pink, and it just makes the stitching really stand out and be a little bit more emphasized than it would be if I had just left it plain white. And it also softens up that plain white paper and makes it look a little bit more well coordinated with that background piece of paper from Pink Paisley. I'm going to leave all of those messy threads showing, which I don't always do, but I'm going to do it today. I just had to trim off the far left and right sides of that photo to make it framed in nicely. And now I'm going to use my Caterpillar crop trimmer to trim this down so that it forms a nice little mat there. And Then I really want to add some of these polka dots, but I don't want too many of them. So I'm thinking I might just cut a little corner off of this polka dot. And I was going to put it there, but it kind of contrasts a little bit too much with the angle of the stripes on the gray paper. So putting it here, it kind of mirrors the stripes on the gray paper instead of competing with it. I'm tearing to size a couple of pieces of this, or one piece, I guess, of this pink feather paper. That paper is by Pink Paisley as well. And all of the Pink Paisley stuff in this collection is from the Moonstruck collection. And everything that I'm using here is from the kit, except for one piece of vellum I'm going to grab from my stash. And I'm using the main scrapbooking kit as well as the Project Life kit. Yeah, that's what I'm using. So yeah, I noticed that the back side of the feather paper had a really nice, interesting gray and white geometric print. So I decided to layer that behind as well, just for one extra paper layer there. Now I'm having a look at the wood veneer that comes in the kit. And I really, really love this wood veneer. And I especially like this one that says, "Do what you love." And I'm thinking about using it for like not for the title, but just for using it as an embellishment, because this photo is not about, well, I guess it can be about whatever you want it to be about. But this photo is about how the snow looked like glitter this morning. It was in the air, and it was just like, it looked like the whole entire air was filled with glitter. It was so pretty, and a camera just doesn't capture it, but you can see a couple of little sparkly bits in the air in front of Olivia. And I also really love this photo, how gray and misty and foggy it is at the end of the cul-de-sac there. This is at the bus stop this morning, and it was just such a strange day because the weather was really cloudy and sunny at the same time. It was just a really, really unusual weather phenomenon. So I'm taking some of the die cut pieces that come in the Moonstruck collection from Pink Paisley that are in the kit, and I'm just picking out anything with, basically I'm looking at the feathers, I'm looking at the hearts, and I'm also looking for any other, I'm thinking about picking out a journaling piece and a few other things. So now I'm looking at these frames. These are Instax frames from Project Life that came in the kit, and they might have been in the Project Life kit. I can't quite remember which kit it came in, but it's definitely in something from Hip Kit from January. And I couldn't tell if they were like a peel-off adhesive backing or not, and my I deducted that it was not. So I just added some ATG to hold it down to my photo. And I like how that kind of isolates her. I really like this tag here from the sticker sheet. These are stickers from the Hazelwood collection from One Canoe 2. And I really like that sticker because it has these foggy looking trees, and the background has foggy looking trees in my photo. So I really, really wanted to use that. But I'm not going to use it in my layer. So I'm putting it up in the top left-hand corner, and with the idea that it might serve as a basis for a secondary cluster up there in the top left-hand corner. Now, I'm thinking this card I have in my hand is from the Moonstruck die cuts, and I'm thinking about adding either a title to it or maybe journaling. I'm going to use this absolutely beautiful thicker, which is called Celebrate, and it's a beautiful foam letter sticker with a foiled gold top on it. And I'm going to spell out the word glitter. At this point, I'm not entirely sure what my title will be, but I know it will have the word glitter in it because there's glitter in the air in the photo. Hopefully you can see it. It actually looks like I added some type of a bokeh effect to the photo afterwards, but I didn't. It's just the snow in the air, the sparkly snow in the air that you're seeing in the photo. Now, these Moonstruck cork die cut, or not die cuts, but embellishments from Moonstruck, they have glitter embedded into the cork, and so I thought that would look absolutely beautiful on this page. So I'm going to try to incorporate the word dream and glitter together. So what I came up with was dream in glitter. And I'm going to put a couple more of these cork pieces around the layout, so I decided to add a feather up in the top secondary cluster and maybe put this banner so that it overlaps with the frame. I thought about maybe putting it over here, but I don't think so. I want it over here instead. And that's just a balance thing. And so you know, it would have been fine over on the other side. I don't know. I'm taking some October afternoon letter stickers from my stash in gray. These are mini market letter stickers, and I'm spelling out the word in. And I chose gray because there's gray in the layers. Like there's gray in the pattern paper that's on the very, very back of all these layers. And there's also gray in the plus pattern paper that I did the sewing over. So this package is the package that I had the wood veneer in. And it might be the package that the wood veneer came in. I can't remember if I repackaged it into something different or like if this package was from my stash, but it's definitely a packaging from a kit that I already received before. I pulled out my stickles drawer, which also has my loose glitter. I almost never use loose glitter. In fact, I am almost at 400 process videos. This might be the very first video that I've ever used loose glitter in. So this is like history in the making. I am taking some champagne glitter from, this is, what is it? It is champagne glass glitter, the large chunky glitter that I put in there, as well as some nail art glitter and some Martha Stewart fine glitter. And I'm just filling up that package, and it has a Ziploc bag, like a Ziploc top on it. So I'm trying to make it so that it's all filled with glitter and that it will be one of my layers. Of course, glitter, man, it leaves such a mess everywhere, but I really love how this looks. And I think it's going to make a great alternative to an extra piece of pattern paper behind my title there that says Dream in Glitter. So I don't want all of the glitter to fall to the very bottom of that large-ish Ziploc bag. And so I'm going to use my, what is that called? My fuse machine by We Are Memory Keepers to put a couple of lines in the bag to hold the glitter in different places. So I will talk a little bit more about that when I do it so that you can see what I have in mind. I thought about sewing across the bag, but then I thought that the stitching might make so many holes in the bag that lots and lots of glitter will come out. I also was aware that if I use my fuse tool on it, it also will sort of put little holes in the bag and that the glitter will leak as well. I kind of thought no matter what I do here, I'm probably going to get some seeping glitter coming out of this bag, but I opted for the fuse tool instead of sewing. And to be honest, I don't know which would have made a bigger mess. They probably would both make some mess. So my problem here is that the gray piece of graphic, like geometric pattern on the very back layer is kind of butting up against that bag of glitter. Like I can't have the bag be where I want it to be and also layer properly with that gray piece of paper. So I'm adding a layer of vellum here, and this is fully strategic. It's not for design at all. Like I think the layers looked fine without it. I'm really only adding it so that that bag of glitter, see I'm showing you right there, can disappear under the vellum instead of having it be visible how the two of them are otherwise just going to line up a little bit too perfectly, and they're not going to be able to overlap the way that I would like them to. So if I had cut a larger piece of that gray pattern paper that's on the very bottom layer, I wouldn't have had to use the vellum at all, and I probably wouldn't have used the vellum at all. So I hope that I did a good job of explaining why I used that vellum the way that I did. It was purely strategic. I really want to get that little camera paper clip that came in the kit. Really want to get that on the page, but I'm not entirely sure how or where I'm going to put it. A fairly large package of shaped paper clips that are really pretty matte gold color came in the kit, and I was really pleased to get so many of them. I always keep a little tester piece of page protector there just to test and make sure that my fuse tool is hot enough before I try to use it. So here I'm just running a line along the top to trap some glitter at the top there, and then I want more glitter to be over to the side here and just kind of like, I want it to stay down in the bottom, more in the left-hand corner than in the right. So that's why I made 2 angled lines there, just to hold more of the glitter down there. And now my pocket is leaking, but it's only leaking the finest of the glitter. So it is going to make a mess, but that's all right. It's worth it for the cool look of having this pocket of glitter on my page. So I am gluing this, as you see, so that I can see some of the glitter pocket on the top and some of it on the bottom of that strip of paper that extends and is going to end up holding my title. And now, just in the interest of trying to keep glitter from leaking out of the holes that the fuse tool made in my bag, I'm just putting some packing tape, because it's clear and you're not going to be able to see it through the layers, on the back layer of the baggie. And now I'm going to run some ATG across the bottom and of all of those layers, and I positioned it fairly low on the page. I want this to be definitely off center, and even more than even less than a third of the way up. I often do things in thirds, like I have my layers be in the bottom third, but I want this to be even lower than usual, just because it's so heavy with this big bag of glitter, and the photo has lots of dark on it. So yeah, I'm placing these letters, because they're in this brush script, I want to make them look really, really casual. So I'm giving them a bouncing baseline, and that adds to the casual look. I did trim off the very tip, the top and bottom of the gray that extends in the letters in the word in, and just to make them more squared and to make them fit a little bit better between those 2 words. I added my banner, and I just used a piece of Stampin' Up! Dimensional adhesive to support the part that overlaps the chipboard frame. And oh, what am I doing here? Oh, right. So I just used my tiny attacher to staple down, again, another hole in that bag, but I needed everything to be firmly affixed to the background paper there. Now I'm going to start by putting some of the embellishments that I pulled out and just moved to the top of my workspace. I'm bringing them down and just tucking them in a few different places. So I'm beginning to form a cluster right here by the D in Dream, a cluster over on the opposite side where the feather and some wood veneers are, and a third cluster down here under the photo, like directly under Olivia, the main part of the photo. And these so far are all embellishments from the Pink Paisley Moonstruck collection. They're all just paper die cut pieces from that package that came in the kit. And I thought I'd layer the key right there. And I'm really liking how this is looking so far. This banner will hide some of the negative space under the word glitter. And I just keep layering. This frame, I think, is going to add a little bit of a delicate look up here on the top, because I'm not going to outline it. And then I'll tuck the rest of it down here in the bottom. And I felt like I needed something under right where my hand is right now, right where that tag is. And so I thought that the top of this tag would just add a little bit of a layer under those wood veneer hearts. I'm basically building and building the layers of embellishments at this point, tucking some butterflies. I wasn't going to add butterflies to this because it's a winter layout, but you know, it's about my preteen girl, and she's growing and changing and all those things. So butterflies are relevant. And I'm titling this Dream in Glitter. It's kind of a play on the phrase dream in color, and but it's glitter, obviously. As I gather the embellishments that I'm tucking in those 3 places around my photo, just grabbed a photo of it just so that I can remember where things are, because I'm feeling like I'm really liking how this looks. So it's time to start pulling things apart and gluing them down so that I don't get too carried away here. I've decided I'm going to outline some of these embellishments. So I'm sorry that it's happening off frame, but I am outlining using my my Faber-Castell Pitt pen, the fine point. And I will outline all of the feathers, and all of the butterflies are going to have some Stampin' Dimensionals on their wings and then regular ATG on their bodies. One thing that I'm also going to outline all of the hearts. So just the hearts and the feathers will get outlines and everything else won't. The one thing that I kind of wish I had done was sewn over the centers of the butterflies, like down the body, so that they had threads hanging from where their antennas are and out the backs of them, and that there was stitching over top of them. I just think that adds a really beautiful, delicate look to die-cut butterflies that I really, really love. And it's an extra detail that just, those are the kinds of details that can really make your layout look so much more interesting and add so much depth to your layers. But I just decided not to in this case, or I don't know if I was feeling lazy or I already did some sewing and didn't want to do more, or what the deal was. I'm trying to put these back in the same places that they were, so I am referring to my photo, which is off screen. I just have it brought up on my phone, and I want that phrase, "Life was made for moments like this," to definitely be visible and legible. Again, here my outlining is on screen, so I'm just roughly outlining around the edges of this feather. It's a beautiful watercolor feather that it just adds a really beautiful, delicate element to these layers. Just going to stick it up there so that it kind of lays down over that heavy black die cut piece. I put that die cut piece down low because it is really black and it has a lot of weight to it. So I'm going to do the same treatment with all of the butterflies and all of the feathers and all of the hearts. I'm just going to keep those wood veneer pieces down with some Tombow Mono Multi adhesive, which is my favorite glue for gluing paper to non-paper items on my layouts. And now I don't want this tag to cover up all of my stitching, but I do want it to cover a lot of it. And now outlining this feather over here. And I chose the feathers that have some of that kind of murky blue. It has like a nice hazy look to it that looks like the fog in the background. So I definitely wanted to include that inky indigo blue purpley color on this page because it does pick up from the photo. And basically, my thought process for choosing embellishments was that I definitely wanted lots of gold embellishments that will pick up on the glitter in the glitter bag and the idea of glitter in the theme of the layout. But I also wanted to include lots of pink in the embellishments because the photo itself is so void of color that I wanted to make sure that this didn't end up being too drab of a layout. So the photo actually is quite drab. It has like the yucky asphalt, like concrete road, and the really dark rocks along the side of the road, and then everything is hazy and that murky purpley color in the background because of the fog. And so I really wanted the layout itself to provide some contrast between the idea of it being a cloudy day and foggy day, but at the same time a sunshiny day, and the sunshine was picking up on the reflective quality of the snow that was, for some reason, there was snow in the air, even though it was sunny and cloudy at the same time. It was such strange weather, but I really wanted to kind of play off the contrast of murky darkness and then glittery sparkliness at the same time. I forgot to outline that black heart that's behind the feather and the butterfly. And now I'm going to move up and start doing my secondary cluster. But first I decided to pull a couple more of these cork embellishments. They have these really roughly cut star shapes, and I thought I would spread them every here and there. And I'm still working on where I'm going to get that camera clip in place. I thought about using it over here. You're not going to see it, but it's not going to end up being there anyways. See, I thought about putting it there. I thought about there. And then I thought I'm going to put it over here in this cluster because I really didn't want to start a new cluster someplace else. And it looks nice. It's kind of casually askew in there. And then I'm adding some puffy stickers from the pink paisley collection that came in the kit again, of course. And I'm adding a couple to each of the clusters here. So I'm just going around the cluster, from cluster to cluster, and thinking, okay, where can I put one of these in this cluster? And then moving to the next one and saying, where can I put one of these in this cluster? And all the while I'm thinking about balancing the textures. So I'm trying to spread the texture of the puffy stickers and the texture of the cork, so that there's a little bit in each of the embellishment clusters, but also spreading it around within each cluster. So now I'm ready to start working on this secondary cluster, which I've been sort of avoiding because I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add another clip because I can. There's so many of them that came in the kit that I've got plenty to use up, and I think it looks really cute there. And now here I'm going to go back. I'm putting today's date, which is February 23rd, on this roller date stamp that came in the Project Life kit from Hip Kit for January. And I love this date stamp. It has this really pretty frame around it. I'm going to go ahead and outline around the banner and just attach it to the sticker there. And now I'm going to grab some ink, and I got 2 different shades of gray ink from Lawn Fundamentals. They're premium dye ink pads, and this one is called Storm Cloud, and it's a little bit darker than the other one I have, which is Narwhal. And look at that! I stamped it upside down, silly Tracy. What were you thinking? And so I guess I'm just going to restamp a whole bunch of them, one of which is upside down, and give myself a bit of a messy look. Then once I did that, I decided to add some messy stamping around some of the other places. So in the 2 of the other 3 clusters, I'm just putting stamping in 2 of them. And I'm just pulling back the layers and very carefully sticking that stamp so that little edges of it are showing every here and there. So whenever you make a mistake like that, never fear, just make it look like you did it on purpose. Like, I just want a bunch of messy stamps there, even though that wasn't originally what I was going to do. I was probably only going to put one of them there at first. But I like how it looks. It anchors, that kind of stamping anchors your embellishments to the page. It makes it look like they belong there, so that's nice. I'm looking for my Stettler Lumocolor black pen because it's my favorite slick surface pen, and this is a fairly shiny sticker, and so other pens might smear. I like to use my Lumocolor for that. It says the snow in the air today looked like glitter, and that's all the journaling I really need. The photo tells the rest of the story, and the themes of the thematic part of the layout as well. I'm just using people ask me about these gold scissors. They're from American Crafts. And as I trimmed it off, that heart kind of got out of place. So I had to add a bit more adhesive to that pink heart and put it in place. And I keep adding more to this one. It's one of those layouts that I keep seeing more opportunities for embellishment. And I thought, I'm just going to go all out and just cluster the heck out of this one. Or embellish the heck out of this one. I'm going to add some outlining around that little sentiment that comes on the key die cut piece. And at this point, I'm just having a look and thinking about what am I going to do here. I'm adding a couple of enamel dots. These are the gold sparkly enamel dots. They came in this kit, but they were from the previous kit. They didn't arrive in time to be included with the last kit. And I believe they're from my mind's eye. And they have these cute little tiny sparkly gold ones. So I'm just putting those over here and there. And now I thought I was done, so here I am showing you the close-ups, but never fear, I will slow down and show you the close-ups again when I'm actually finished. Basically, I'm feeling like there's something wrong with that cluster that I just pointed out there. It's like there's too much neutral stuff on the top. Like it needs something to kind of grab your attention. It doesn't have a focal point. I like each cluster to have a focal point. And so this puffy sticker, it has this bright pop of pink and this beautiful flower. It says blossom and bloom. and a little banner. So I added that there, and then I thought I would just scooch the Daydreamer sticker over a little bit. And I also felt like I needed some type of a focal point over here where the feather meets the butterfly. And I'm going to struggle a little bit with what on earth will I put there. An enamel dot just isn't going to cut it. So then I saw this beautiful puffy sticker. It says "So Lovely," and it has those flowers and that beautiful teal color. And I thought that that just looked really pretty. These puffy stickers provide a really nice focal point, and then more, I just keep going and going on this one, but I really like how it looks with the extra puffy stickers, because the puffy stickers are quite a bit deeper than the other elements that come in the collection, and so they do make a really beautiful focal point. So see how that wood veneer looks a lot nicer with that Shine Bright puffy sticker on top of it instead of just being hollow and showing the paper below. I added that beautiful Life puffy sticker there amongst those embellishments in that cluster. I really like how that looks tucked in there. Oh, that title. It's one of my favorite titles so far, Dream in Glitter. I'm going to leave these pieces of thread hanging because they add softness to the page. And the "So Lovely" really does. I'm glad that I took the time to add those extra puffy stickers to the top, just the final touches that just give each cluster a little bit more of a focal point and something to look at and appreciate and enjoy. So this layout was one of the most fun layouts I've made in a very, very long time. I love how that glitter bag looks as one of the layers. It just looks so much fun, and I just needed a way to add a lot of glitter because this is all about glitter, and I really didn't want to use glitter. Like, I didn't want to have to worry about putting out, like, I thought about designing some stuff with stickles and then I'd have to wait for it to dry, or maybe, you know, putting out some glue dots was another idea that I had, was to put in little glue dots amongst my layers every here and there, and then cover them with loose glitter. But I think that this glitter pouch really suited my mood quite a bit better in terms of not wanting to deal with glitter, but still being able to have glitter on my page. And it's so pretty. I love all the different kinds of glitter in there, that there are some big chunks and some flat chunks, and also the fine glitter as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this half as much as I enjoyed making it, because this was a really, really fun one for me. So take care and have yourself a really great scrappy week. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, you can help me out by liking and commenting on this video. You can find more scrapbooking process videos right here. And if you're new to scrapbooking, check out my how-to series right here. And if you haven't subscribed already, press on my pretty little head down here to subscribe for more videos from me. Thanks so much for watching, and have a really great scrappy week.